Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. Additionally, consider subscribing to my Patreon to get access to these features, and much more.
The following night, Joel's wife gave me a gift, a Western-style shirt, with the suggestion that I accompany her husband for another appointment today, or rather, yesterday. Instead of Joel, she picked me up in a limo to go shopping for the rest of my outfit, which she assured me was for horseback riding. She promised that if I cooperated and let her choose the clothes, there would be more bookings for me. I failed miserably on my first client, and now, eager to make up for it, I felt like you, Liam, had a big head start. It was only my second attempt, but I wasn't sure I'd do well. My first one was a disaster, and the second was to accompany her to a dance where she chaperoned, while her husband took their daughter. It was one of those cotillions for débutantes. The husband leered at me all night, and I figured he must have been jealous of me being with his wife. She was simply setting me up to go out with him, though. You agreed to go out with a guy in that outfit? No, he took me to a baseball game, hot dogs, peanuts, and all. Then we had dinner at his place, and his wife gave me this blouse, but told me not to open it until I got home. Joel asked me to open it on the ride back. It was dark in the limo, and I thought it was a man's Western shirt. He wanted me to go horseback riding with him, so I didn't think much of it. But then, his wife picked me up, saying he was busy at the office and that she'd help me pick out the outfit. Look, Liam, I'm half asleep. Let's finish this in the morning. I'm exhausted. Okay. Without asking, Liam came over, picked me up, and carried me to my bedroom, dropping me gently on the bed. I was surprised at how strong he was. He carried me easily. I clung to his neck, afraid he might drop me. Please, Liam, leave me alone. I can undress myself, if you don't mind. He turned, walked to the door, and then looked back. I'll leave the door open in case that harness starts to feel like a boa constrictor tonight. You don't have to worry, honey. I won't touch you, unless you want me to. With that, he left, turning off the kitchen light. I was left sitting on the bed, bathed in moonlight through the window. I looked at myself in the dresser mirror. If Liam looked like I did, I might have come onto him too. Why should I be upset with him for thinking the same? I undressed, folding the skirt and hanging the blouse on the chair beside the bed. In the pale light, wearing just a corset and lace bra, I looked like a girl preparing to entice a man to bed. I fiddled with the garters on my stockings, carefully releasing them. The clips were tight, but I managed to open them with ease. As the nylon slid down my legs, I felt a shiver run up my spine. They clung to my legs, making me feel sensations I hadn't expected. For a moment, I imagined Liam's hands helping me remove the stockings, and I nearly swooned. Wow, girls must feel incredible when a man is close like that. With guilt, I continued running my hands over my legs, trying to replicate the sensations I first felt. I figured if I was dressed like this, I had every right to indulge in the experience girls must enjoy. I wasn't thinking too clearly, but it was hard not to get caught up in the feeling. Eventually, I realized I was nearly asleep and stopped, removing the nylons before crawling into bed. I decided I was too tired to take off the corset and would leave that for morning. I knew it, Ella, but I didn't think he'd do it all on his own. Myra's voice broke through my sleep, with Ella trying to peek over her shoulder. Wake up, princess. It's way past noon. Bright sunlight streamed in through the window. I immediately thought Liam had snuck into my room while I slept and taken advantage of me. What? Liam shared all the details about your date with a man. You'd better hurry and take a shower. He's called twice already and wants to see you tonight. Looks like you've got an admirer. You should have mentioned this sooner. If I'd known you were into men, I could have arranged that from the start. You'd be surprised how many men would love a girl like you. I'm not gay. I never have been. This was all his wife's idea. She doesn't want her friends to think he's gay, and she doesn't want him dating real women either. It's all just a charade. Sure, darling, sure. Still, You better hurry up and call him back before he gets upset. The agency called too. They said he's booked you for the whole week, something about you two getting better acquainted. Looks like you're making good money now. Liam chimed in, she hasn't won the bet yet. I'm not sitting around doing nothing. Leave me alone. I need sleep. Nonsense. You need food and a nice hot bath. Lunch is ready. You can tell us all about it while we eat. Ella will help you freshen up afterward. I noticed you haven't had much of your juice, Gail. You need to make up for it today. Now, get out of bed, or we'll send Liam to drag you out. I reluctantly got up and took the robe Ella handed me. It was hers. Myra already knew my fam name. Liam must have told them everything I said last night. I couldn't do anything but go along with it. I gave a full account of the past few days with my new client while Myra served me French toast and more vegetable juice. This will give you an edge over Liam, Myra said. Why's that? Because the rate is double for those who can offer more variety. I didn't mention it before, but I had my suspicions. That's why I suggested the daily veggie juice quota. It's packed with vitamins that help keep your skin soft and supple. Liam's vitamin supplements help him build lean muscle. You've been drugging us. I put my glass of juice down, shocked. Oh, don't be silly. We just tailored your diet to match your needs. We wanted your minds sharp to absorb the information on the tapes more easily. Liam works out regularly, so he needed more vitamin C, A, and carbs for energy. You needed more iron, potassium, calcium, and protein. We followed the clinic's recommendations based on your blood tests. Everything in your juice is natural and organic, with no chemical fertilizers. It's pure and simple. I know, to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. It's becoming clear that Myra and Ella weren't leaving anything to chance. Their success was tied to ours. You're sure nothing's added to the juice? It's all natural? Absolutely. Gail, it's about time you start taking charge of your diet. From now on, we'll give you the list of ingredients and ratios, and you can make your juices yourself. How's that sound? Fair enough. You can buy your own ingredients, or keep sharing ours, your choice. We get our veggies straight from the market, so they're always fresh. We'll even let you talk to our nutritionist about adding your favorite flavors. That sounds good. I like this blend, but I'd love to try some variety. Good. It's settled then. You'll start making your own juices. Now, time's wasting. Ella will help you get cleaned up. If you're feeling self-conscious, take a quick shower, put on the robe to cover up, and she'll join you when you're ready. I'll be busy with Liam at my place, giving him his daily quiz. Ella came into the bathroom while I was taking a shower, reached into the stall without looking and handed me a large bottle of depilatory, telling me to read the label and use it everywhere that I thought would be appropriate. She cautioned me not to get the stuff on my face or inner thighs, or it might itch badly or burn the sensitive skin there. After asking me if I had any questions, she left me to use my own judgment. After the recommended test patch on my left wrist, I used it everywhere, except my face and inner thighs. 15 minutes later, my skin was as soft and smooth as a baby's rump. The towel felt rougher, so I patted myself dry. Ella's silky robe clung to me, and I felt those delicious goosebumps all over, once more. I could see why most girls pampered themselves. It felt great to feel my skin tingle without the impairment of body hair. Ella left a pair of black silk panties and a delicate matching strapless slip for me to wear. I took off the robe, put the undies on and told her I was ready, shivering in delight at the feel of these light confections. A cool shower rinse had effectively shrunk my manhood, so I felt as if I had barely anything on at all, but the panties concealed everything, firmly in place, and the mirror said the essentials were covered adequately. In fact, I looked like a girl in that regard, as I tried to make the front of the panties flat by pushing everything down between my legs. I didn't want to look lewd in front of Ella, like Liam did in his boxers the night before in the kitchen. Ella lavished my torso with fragrant talc, and handed me the short slip that she called a chemise, explaining that it should be worn high as it would go, up under my armpits. The purpose of the slip was to prevent chafing from the corset she was going lace up on me, as she intended to lace it tightly, to see how much definition she could achieve by lacing. Is the definition that important? Maybe not to you, but you need to do more sit-ups. Your tummy hangs out too much. The only way to make it less obvious so you look nicer is to constrict it. Why don't you spend more time at the gym, exercising, like Liam does? She drew the laces of the corset she put over the chemise tight as she instructed me to suck in my gut and hold my breath. I feel funny around those overeager muscle men. They stare at me all the time, like I'm a freak or something. I think I look more average than they do with those muscles bulging out all over. I think men look vain by overdoing it. They must be narcissistic or something. Ha, ha. I agree. However, I don't think many women agree with us. Most women find a muscular man far more desirable to be seen with than an endomorph. What kind of morph? Endomorphs, you know, chubby guys. Ectomorphs are skinny guys, like the weaklings pictured on the back of older comic books that get sand kicked in their faces by some muscle-bound jerk that steals away the girlfriend. Little guys don't much of a chance to impress a woman, unless they find a woman who is a fitness freak that has muscles of her own, and likes to be the dominant partner. That wife of the guy who you're seeing may be like that. Have you seen her body in a bathing suit? No. I don't know. I don't think she's a health enthusiast. Myra is. You should see her in a bikini. Her muscles have muscles. Ella had me sit down and started to brush and dry my hair with a hairdryer, after she laced me into the corset she brought with her. She snugged it so tight it hurt when I sat down on the stool she put in front of the sink, unless I sat bolt upright on it. She has the body of a goddess. We're a perfect match, we two. She's really my wife, you know, not my sister. What? That's right. You and I have more in common than you thought. She's hedonistic, but I love her more than life. I'll do anything for her. She knew that you could win the bet with Liam if you open your mind to optimizing your latent talent, so she directed your training away from male chauvinism and toward transvestism. Leave it to her, and she'll find you a strong-willed wife that will take damn good care of you and support you in the manner in which you will become accustomed. Think of all the advantages. You'll never have to worry about getting a job again. Your wife will support you. What makes you think I'll want that kind of wife? Oh, you do. If not, you will, once you let yourself free of social influences. What's that mean? Everyone tries to fit into the mold society expects. Men are supposed to be strong and in control, while women are meant to be humble and submissive. Sometimes, though, the roles should be reversed. As long as you're happy and not causing harm to anyone, do whatever brings you joy. Honestly, Gail, I never would have agreed to dress as a woman if I didn't think it would lead to true happiness for us. When I first started dating Myra, we had to constantly deal with the idiots who tried to tear us apart. What was I supposed to do? If I tried to defend myself, I'd just get crushed. The best way to handle it was to let Myra take charge. Still, they would bully me, and I felt inadequate. But now, when they approach us, she sends them away with their egos shattered, completely unaware of what's really going on. Over time, I stopped caring when they hit on us. To those jerks, I was just another piece of meat they thought they could charm. I knew I could never compete with the bigger guys, so we came up with a solution that avoids many of the awkward situations we used to face. Now, whenever Myra shows affection for me in public, people assume we're lesbians and stay away. It works out well because, honestly, I feel more at ease in women's clothes than in men's. I don't think I even have any men's clothes left in my closet. What's the point of telling me this now, Ella? Are you saying I should dress to look authentic, even in a bikini? I never would have guessed you were a man underneath it all. You have plenty of cleavage and a slim waist. Your body doesn't look masculine at all. How do you do it? Well, if you must know, I had a few surgeries to make sure I could present myself the way I wanted for the rest of my life. As a man, I was just a wimp. But now, I look good and have people following me with their eyes wherever I go. It boosts my self-esteem to know that others appreciate the way I look. Did you ever feel ignored when it was your turn to speak? I have a master's degree in human resources, but when I worked as a man, I was passed over for promotions because of my passive demeanor and small stature. I got tired of being the underdog year after year. We left the bathroom and walked into my bedroom, where a full set of feminine clothes were neatly laid out on the bed. You wouldn't guess that I'm in my mid-40s, would you? I'm 45, but I look like I'm just entering my 30s. That's all thanks to Myra. She came into the scene much later than I did and quickly surpassed me, all because of her dynamic personality and stunning looks. We started dating, fell in love, and the rest is history. Ella helped me with my makeup, explaining how I should eventually learn to do it myself, while she continued to share her journey with me. I started with prosthetics at first. It worked for the most part, but there were certain clothes that didn't suit me. I had to be careful not to let the padding show. Going to the beach or poolside as a man became impossible after a while, so I had my facial hair removed through electrolysis. I also kept my body shaved regularly, which made it impossible for me to wear a swimsuit unless it was one of Myra's, but they never fit properly. I love the feeling of silk against my skin, with no hair to get in the way. Don't you? I paused to think before responding. I'm not used to it, but I felt a chill when I put on the panties just now. Is that how all women feel about their clothes? It must be amazing to enjoy wearing them so much. It really is, Ella smiled. I'll never go back to wearing the drab things men wear. The thrill of feeling delicate lingerie is the main reason I let Myra talk me into trying this out. We got married on a whim and even booked a honeymoon to the Bahamas. One night, I went to the bar to get drinks, and some guy hit on Myra while I was gone. When I tried to step in, I ended up losing a tooth before the staff could break it up. He thought I was just another guy trying to hit on single women. If only I could have afforded a proper wedding before, it might never have happened. Instead, we eloped and got married on the cruise ship that day. The plain ring I bought her in a rush looked more like a friendship ring. Myra found the whole thing touching, she continued. She admired that her new husband was willing to protect her from some guy looking for trouble, without caring about his own safety. She told me she was used to men approaching her and that I should let her handle it. But I refused. I wasn't going to stand by and let another man make a move on her, not in front of everyone. She insisted that she could manage it and asked me to give her time to think about how to handle things next time. To my surprise, she actually liked the attention she got from other men. I guess she wasn't used to being married yet. Back in our stateroom, when she undressed, I quickly followed suit. It was our wedding night, after all. I was in awe of her beauty. Why she chose me, I still didn't fully understand, but I didn't question it. I married her because of her commanding personality, her charm, her sculpted body, and her undeniable looks. As I approached her, she took control in a way I couldn't have imagined. She told me how she knew I was the best man for her. Despite my flaws, I would defend her with everything I had, even though she didn't need defending. She had everything she needed to protect herself, and I knew it. She took charge during our passionate lovemaking, fulfilling all my dreams of happiness. The following day, we went shopping at the ship's gift shops, which catered to all kinds of fantasies. I had no idea at the time that she was picking out purchases that would make me blush. I learned on our wedding night that she preferred dominance, and I reveled in it. It began with her telling me of her penis envy, that she wanted me to help her explore by my being the object of her passion. In short, she wanted to dress the part of the seducer, and me dress the part of the seduced. I saw no harm in going along, so I let her dress me up in the garments she purchased that day. When I saw how I looked, all dressed up for fun, the real meaning of being a submissive to my wife became clear to me. She knew it all along. My reflection was almost pretty, younger looking, and demure, and I adored it. If you can imagine, the passion we shared that night exceeded our initial consummation of our vows of fidelity, the night before. We were meant for each other all along, and we both knew it. We both knew that our love for one another would endure, regardless of how many arrogant brutes would confront us in an attempt to split us apart. That I could be the object of her delight, dressed in feminine finery, was eye-opening, to say the least, not only to provide her with ecstasy, but myself as well. It didn't take much coercion on her part to convince me to attempt to face the public in a dress. No one on the boat knew us personally, and no one cared how others were dressed. If I was detected as a man by anyone, no one made a point of it. In fact, the guy that hit me on the chin on our first night out smiled at me across the dining room and winked at me as well. For sure, he knew that I was Myra's husband. Yet, he licked his lips and let his tongue show between them as he continued to glare at me. He never even shot a quick glance at Myra. His interest was riveted on me. Initially, I froze in panic, thinking he would expose my charade. Instead, he merely sat in his chair, admiring my brazen courage. I know, because he told me so later, as we danced together in the moonlight. Myra insisted I accept his dance request, which she predicted would occur, telling me that he was cute for an airhead, as he approached us at the table where we sat quietly in the lounge. As he approached us, I thought he would ask Myra to dance, thinking that I was in no position to defend her, dressed as I was. Instead, he apologized for his initial arrogance and took my hand, and kissed it. I almost lost it when he did that. I turned to Myra for her help, but she just pushed my shoulder, telling him that I would love to dance with him. He pulled me to my feet before I had a chance to decline. I was in a state of shock, but had no choice. I danced. He held me very close, and it felt good. He knew I was a guy, and told me I was lovely, anyway. Myra watched us, probably urging him to continue dancing with me for as long as he wanted. No one on the dance floor gave us a second look. I was getting away with it, and I felt a certain thrill I never knew. I discovered that following was easier than leading, and men were more fun to dance with than women. I always had trouble trying to lead women. I felt as if I was in heaven. It felt so good to be desired as a woman. It still does. Is that as far as it goes, Ella? Just dancing and letting men hold you in their arms? It goes as far as you want it to, Gail. I'm a married man. I'm devoted to Myra. We're all that we need for each other. Living the way we do is right for us. Will I ever let a man get familiar? Perhaps I will someday, but not without Myra's full consent and blessing. I do know that she has pangs for being held in a strong man's arms, sometimes. And, so do I, sometimes. I can't be anything more than honest. You have to decide what you want on your own. Give yourself a chance. The phone broke up our lengthy conversation. Ella's story gave me much to think about. However, I would have to let that wait. Joel was picking me up to go horseback riding in an hour. I finished dressing and made sure the fall that was pinned into my short hair was secure. The full poodle skirt, extended by something called crinoline slip, bounced when I walked. I had reservations about riding in the thing, but discovered it looked gorgeous on me and emphasized my femininity. Joel literally drooled at the sight of me. He fawned over me at every turn, placing me up in the saddle with his strong arms on my corseted waist, as I leaned over onto his broad shoulders. His hands tarried on my skirt as I looked down at him, smiling. He mounted his horse and off we rode. My origins provided sufficient experience in horsemanship, but it was the first time I rode side saddle. My billowing crinoline slip afforded me needed modesty about my ankles, and my poodle skirt covered the saddle and my legs well. As we rode along the well-maintained trail, I couldn't help but wish Ella hadn't been so insistent on lacing up the corset, though I eventually found it somewhat comforting. It kept my soft paunch from bouncing around too much, which I appreciated. It had been a while since I'd ridden a horse, but my confidence soon returned, and we enjoyed a wonderful time. Afterwards, I asked Joel if I could go home to refresh myself, as the ride had been a bit dusty, but he told me that his wife was expecting us and would ensure I was properly bathed and ready for the visit. A new outfit was waiting for me when we arrived. The short drive to his home was quiet, with Joel holding my hand the whole way. Inside, I wanted to respond respectfully, but the thought of being kissed by another man made me uneasy. I kept telling myself it was wrong, over and over. Joel's wife was overpowering, insisting on personally attending to my bath. She needed to be sure I wasn't some scheming woman trying to lure her husband into a romantic affair. Once she was satisfied, she quickly helped me get dressed and ready. She then returned me to Joel, leaving us alone. Joel pulled me into his arms and kissed my cheek lightly. "There. Is that what worried you on the way home? Were you afraid I'd force myself on you? Please, Gail, be patient with me. I'm just as unsure as you are. I didn't have much of a chance to date girls when I was younger. Our marriage was arranged, and we were always chaperoned. My wife is distant, but I'm devoted to her. She can't help who she is, but I don't want to cause trouble with another woman. This is the only option, as I explained from the start. I won't harm you. Try to relax and enjoy my company, if you can. Yes, I'm older, but it feels like I'm dating you like a teenager, exploring life for the first time. It feels that way to me, at least." "Joel, I understand," I replied. "This is all new to me, too. Inside, I know I'm a man, and it bothers me that I enjoy acting like an innocent girl for you, as if this is just a role we're playing. I agreed to be an escort to get out of debt, but it's starting to mean more to me than just that. I'm enjoying the experience. I don't know how long it will last, so I don't want you to think this is anything more than just another assignment. You're my client, nothing more. But for now, just remember we're playing parts together, so you can have the kind of experience you never had when you were younger." Enough said, Joel smiled. "Let's go have dinner at a quiet bistro and enjoy ourselves. You can tell me what kinds of things you like to do, and I'll let you know if they appeal to me, too." He wrapped his arm around me, and we headed out to the waiting limo, ready to embark on the string of dates that would continue between us as a couple. I won the bet. Liam had earned enough money as a male escort to cover his share of the back rent, as well as the 2 months' rent during the betting period. We continued our agreement with Myra and Ella, but saw less of them once they were confident we had fully adapted to our roles. Liam's manners improved significantly, but he still occasionally acted a bit evasive around me at home. He even tried to kiss me again. Well, I guess I wasn't exactly discouraging him enough, so he took a shot. I spent most of my time in women's clothing, as Joel and his wife continually gifted me with new outfits. Shopping for me gave her a thrill, and I figured it would be a shame to let the clothes go unused and clutter my closet. I enjoy having plenty of free time for my hobbies, so I opted not to get another job. The job market stayed weak, and the pay just didn't compare. Liam went back to work and is doing well, but still insists that I contribute half of our living expenses. I can afford it, though, because Joel's wife is generous and extended my employment, albeit with less frequency. I have enough to support myself comfortably and continue to build my savings. I no longer have to worry about being kicked out in the foreseeable future. While I didn't undergo any major surgeries like Ella, I did have my beard removed. I never liked shaving daily, and I still use depilatories. If anyone at the gym's pool asks, I tell them that shaving my legs helps me shave off a few seconds on my lap times. They believe it, and some even try it themselves. Go figure. Well, that's my story. I'm content with how things have turned out, and I plan to keep dressing in women's clothes for my dates with men as long as my looks and the fees hold up. I still regularly see Joel and occasionally spend time with his wife alone. Their daughter married a man she barely knew, much like her mother. I attended the wedding reception as part of the catering staff, and as a uniformed waiter, no one recognized me as the cute young girl Joel has been seeing on the side. Sure, people talk, but having a mistress isn't unusual in their social circles. How far am I willing to go, you ask? Well, gentlemen, you know a girl never tells. The end.